Let's set the mood here. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel, and hello if you are new. My name's Andrea Johnson. I am your spiritual inspiration, here to inspire, empower, and to teach you how to master your energy. Welcome to Conscious Coffee Talks. Let's dive into today's topic. Today's topic is a question I get asked about a bunch, and the universe has been blessing me with synchronicity, so we are going to talk about it today. That is how to start a spiritual journey. You guys are interested in where do I start? How do I go embark on my soul's purpose, figuring out this spiritual lifestyle stuff? Now, I'm going to make a disclaimer about this video because I'm going to talk about it mainly from a point of consciousness of where most people can understand it, but I know there's going to be some souls out there that understand the deeper meaning of what I'm going to be talking about. So ultimately, when we talk about a spiritual journey, guys, it is just an unlearning of what you think that you already know. The fact that you're questioning about a spiritual awakening, a spiritual journey, is just becoming aware of what's already going on. You've been on this journey your entire life. Your life is the spiritual journey. You're just now actually wanting to consciously take part in that journey. The best way that I can describe it is just getting to know thyself. And I've understood this on multiple levels of conscious expansion. More of the lower level, I say the human way of thinking about that is just understanding your character in this realm of reality of the story you're playing out as, we'll say myself, Andrea, right? That my spiritual journey could be of just which way I like to create my life with this movie character, right? A spiritual journey is just the process of letting go of who you think that you are to return to your authentic nature. And that is when you realize that you vibe high in the spiritual realms, is when you let go of the human existence. When you do that, there is no human existence to have a journey with. You just return to source ultimately, and you realize that you are all that exists. This video is going to be more about the human aspect of it, of the journey of your character that you're playing right now, and how to get the most out of your life. The spiritual journey from that aspect is just longing for something more in your life, right? You're just longing for growth, evolution, exploration. You know, really what I do believe this human experience is about. The first thing that I want to ask you guys when wanting to embark on a spiritual journey is, what brought you to this point in the first place? Why do you want to learn about a spiritual journey? Are you curious? Is there some healing that you feel like you need to do? Was there something that shook your reality? Do you feel a certain level of discomfort? Are there things that are triggering you and you're wondering why you're repeating patterns, right? Like, why am I attracting the same narcissistic partner in my life? Something of that nature. Or are you more just diving into the mysticism side of life? Are you starting to question of what is this universe and what are we doing here, right? What is the human existence, and is there life outside of this universe and other dimensions, you know, the deeper meanings of creation in itself? Or are you just longing for a deeper connection with yourself as far as like a soul purpose? Like, what am I doing here in this earthly realm, the 3D reality? What do I want to do with my life? How do I want to feel fulfilled and feel like I am living a life in alignment with who I am, my authenticity, or with love? How can I be a further value to myself and of my fellow humans, right? So these are all things to really think about whenever you dive into the spiritual journey side of it, is your reason why. And you may find that your reason why may be all of it. I mean, ultimately, it's not wrong. For myself, it was pretty much all of it, but I started my spiritual journey because I felt a level of discomfort in my life. I had a story on repeat in my mind that brought me a lot of pain. So it was a misalignment of my authentic self. So then I had to get to know thyself. I had to get to know thy story. And For me personally, I wanted to understand how I created my story. How did these thoughts get in my mind? One could go to say of how did I build my life up to this point if I don't feel I've created it in alignment with who I am, right? So it requires you to actually shine light, which is your conscious awareness on aspects of your life, of how you've created it up to this point, right? Some may call this shadow work, shining light on the shadows in your life, the things that don't feel good for you, and understanding a deeper level of yourself and why you made the choices that you did, why you created your life. So whether you have created your life consciously or unconsciously, it's ultimately you that created it, and it's ultimately you that can change it, right? So it's ultimately you that is going to evolve from this. So the first step is to really get to know thyself. And I truly believe that this is the first step because you are creation, right? You are the thought of God, right? So in order to understand creation, in order to understand life and the patterns that you have played out, you have to understand yourself. You also have to understand yourself to know what it is that you want to create in life, which is half of the problem that people have is they lived a life in alignment for somebody else, not for themselves. They lived a life that basically given to them to live out, been fed ideas from their parents on what life that they need to live, how they need to be successful, pushing upon them their ideas of what success or a good life would look like. So it's becoming aware of what it is that you actually want, who it is that you truly are, learning about yourself in the mind aspect of it, in the authentic aspect of it. I say authentic, but just who you feel that you truly are, what feels good to you, but also understanding the way in which the human mind and body work, because essentially it all works the same way. We all have the same monkey mind. We all have the same chemicals, the same, emotions. We're all just experiencing different aspects of life dependent upon our perception of the world. So where I'm really trying to go with this is that we all have these human bodies. And yes, these human bodies may function differently as far as some may have dis-ease, some, obviously look different, some operate different. You eat a certain food, it's going to react chemically different from this person to this person. But ultimately, the foundation of the human body, I feel like, is pretty standard across the board. On the human body is the physical manifestation of the energy that is you, right? It is the physical manifestation in the realm of the 3D earth, because we are in the realm of matter, right? So everything in this realm is a physical manifestation of energy that has to come from somewhere, and we call that the spiritual realms, or the realm of essence, the realm of the formless, right? You were essentially there just being streamed into this body, right? So your body is going to react dependent upon the energy that is you, and the energy that is you truly changes. It'll always be evolving, but it changes with your conscious thought or unconscious thought, but with your thoughts and your emotions, because those are energies, right? So in order to take a spiritual journey, or in other words, be a conscious creator in your life, you have to understand your own thoughts and your emotions and how they work with your human body. This is a huge key to understanding your own life in general, of how you got to where you're at. Now, for myself, Reiki and learning about the human energetic system and the chakras really helped clue me in on how I created my life, how my physical vessel, the issues that I was having, was directly correlated to my life, the things going on in it, and how my thoughts were creating my emotions, right? When you understand these things and how the human body, mind, and spirit work in conjunction, and how it kind of just all kind of flows and fluctuates, right? how the human body creates chemicals based upon thoughts. Like, you know, if you have stressful thoughts, you're going to release cortisol, and that's going to cause some kind of disharmony within, right? So when you understand that, and you understand the patterns or the thoughts you play on repeat, the storyline that is constantly going, the narrator in your head that constantly has these storylines on repeat, you understand it holds an energetic pattern in that body, your body. And it makes you feel a certain way. So if you get low vibrations, a low level story that doesn't agree with you, and you believe it, you're feeding that story, right? And it's going to manifest on the inside, and then thus create your external world. Now, I'm getting a little bit off topic on a spiritual journey, but this is huge in creating that spiritual journey. Understanding these things, understanding the laws of the universe, the laws of energy, and how they interact with you is huge. You have to start, I believe, this in conjunction with understanding thyself. Like, this is part of understanding thyself, because thyself is creation. You are the thought of God, right? This whole realm of the universe is the mind of God, God's imagination. We are just all existing at different conscious levels of awareness and vibration. When you understand yourself enough, body, mind, and spirit, and you have deconstructed the ego, which is unlearning what you think that you have learned. You've probably done some shadow work, that you've shined light on things that don't feel good in your life, and you want to start actually creating what is in alignment with you, right? So you're going to want to see what interests you, right? Where do your interests lie in life? What makes you feel excited? What makes you feel passionate, right? What ideas come to you when you think about, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? What sense of purpose do I feel I have, you know? And if you don't know, that is okay, because life is a journey in itself, right? It is a self-discovery journey. So you're going to want to try different things out in life. You're going to want to experience new things. And this is the excitement that spirit really looks for, the curiosity, the wanderlust. That is your natural state of being besides love. But that is life wanting to expand. That's a natural drive within all humans. So you're going to want to look for what makes you excited, paired with an action to where you feel you can be of service to other people. And that is huge in finding a purpose in life, because it's going to sustain you. It's going to be what drives you to keep going, and also it will be what brings abundance back to you. When you give others abundance, that abundant energy, which will be the energy you're going to radiate when you do the action that makes you feel alive or your soul's purpose or fulfilled, it will come back to you tenfold, right? And that is how our soul's purpose is designed, or the universe has designed itself so that our soul's purpose, when we do that in the world, that it can support us, right? AKA make you money. Finding your soul's purpose is going to be a process of discovery. And I'm here to tell you as well too, is your purpose will change all throughout your life, because you are constantly changing energies. It is your nature to change. And even if you feel stuck or stagnant, the world is still changing. And if you're not changing fast enough, trust me when I say the universe will have something to push you forward, right? That is typically where people like to say trauma has like changed them in some form of way. An outside factor comes in and basically changes your internal world to shift you forward. So a key aspect on your spiritual journey is, yes, understanding your purpose and what you want to create. It's also connecting with yourself and allowing a higher aspect of you to guide you. And it's also filling your life up with what fills your cup, right? So what we consume, we become. So if you want to take a spiritual journey, it's going to be important for you to surround yourself with high vibrational tools or people or things that help you step into your authentic power, right? That help you take the spiritual journey. So for myself, that looks like embarking on this kind of work that helps me feel connected to God, that helps me feel connected to myself, that feels good, that life force energy is within me. Also, part of this is surrounding myself with light workers or a community of like-minded people that help root me into my being, that help fuel my vibration, because we become who we surround ourselves with. And it's also managing my energy. You have to manage your energy to be in alignment with your authentic self, because if you don't keep your energies high, if you don't keep fueling that light on the inside, right? Feeding it good thoughts, feeding it high vibrational things in life, you can go back to old patterns and become dim again. You can stunt your spiritual growth, we'll say, or your evolution of just expanding consciousness and learning about yourself, learning about life, the wisdom, right? The connecting to the higher realms. You can dim your light. And ultimately, just side note, guys, we're going to be going like this because it's designed that way, like a roller coaster. Your light won't always be bright, but it's the important aspect of you understand yourself enough to know what dims your light and to bring yourself back into alignment with the light. So it's a conscious awareness of oneself, and where you place your conscious attention will be what fuels your life, right? So you want to place your attention on what you want to create, place your attention on who you would like to be, who would you like to surround yourself with, what you want your life to look like, and believe that it is already yours, because it is, right? And I think this trips a lot of people up, because you have to be the vibration you envision yourself or that person to be in that life. So you have to energetically be that vibration now, in which the vision that you hold for yourself of who you want to be or what life you want to create, you know, things like that. And that is the quote unquote spiritual journey of evolution to get to that point, right? So you want to hold your conscious awareness on the end goal or the vision you have for yourself, and your life will automatically just start to take you there. You don't have to do much in the aspect of overthinking or thinking you have to do all the things. You just have to allow spirit to work through you and guide you in your life. And I know that's easier said than done. Trust me, I'm a human too. I understand this. But ultimately, that is true. And the way in which the human mind works, and if you understand manifestation, if you have an end goal, the mind will design a reality for you to get there, but it will be a process of evolution. It will be a process of, I say, trial and error, but that's where the energy looks like a roller coaster. But ultimately, you understand, if you keep going and keep holding that vision, eventually it will manifest. Eventually, you will be the thing, but what you will come to find is the process of growth and evolution, your spiritual journey, is your entire life. Your vision for yourself will just keep getting higher and higher. And that's, I guess you want to say, what we'll call your higher self, the thing that already actually exists and is guiding you to be at this end vibration, this destiny, we'll say, of your human character, to be embodied here. The higher self wants to be embodied here fully for your existence, right? We'll call that your spiritual journey. I keep referencing that because I want you guys to understand that everything I'm talking about is the spiritual journey. Everything that I'm talking about you can do to help you evolve on your spiritual journey. Some actions that you can take to help you master your energy, and this is part of the video where people are probably like, oh, that's what they consider to be a spiritual journey, or they visualize or identify with as what a spiritual person does, is meditation. Meditation is huge, guys, because it's going to help you break neuroplasticity pathways in the mind. It's going to help you unwire the storyline that you have in your head, meaning the habits that you're embarking in, who you think that you are. If you want to change as a person, meditation will help you advance that in the quantum realm, basically the realm of the formless, the realm of energy. Meditation is key in stepping into the person and creating that identity in that realm first by unwiring who it is that you think that you are. It's a good way for you to also understand that you are consciousness and not your emotions nor the body. It helps you release attachment to the human existence, essentially. And what we understand as well too is when we have attachments, it becomes very hard for us to step into a new storyline or to create a new storyline to who it is that we've always been. We can't really move forward, right? We can't really evolve. So we have to let go of those attachments because we're feeding our energy to it, right? So in order for new energy to come in, we have to let go of old things, habits, physical items, the thoughts or the beliefs that we're currently telling ourselves. This could be of just like your values or just like what you currently believe in your box of reality, letting go of those things and being open to what is actually for you in this new identity that you're trying to create. So another thing that can help you is breath work. Breath work, breath work, breath work. So powerful, guys, because it automatically clears the energies from your body to begin with. The more that you clear the energy in your body, you'll see that the mind is going to start to change because you're actually going through the subconscious to change the thoughts in your mind. So what meditation will help you do as well, and breath work, you'll come to realize that if you change the body in some way, you do some form of movement, breath work, yoga, whatever, it releases chemicals in the body and it moves energy and it makes you feel different. And when you feel different, you start thinking differently, right? So these are tools in which we can shift the way that we think, and we can think higher thoughts, holding a higher version of ourselves. And then we can start to identify with that, or start to wire neuroplasticity pathways around better thoughts, right? And then therefore our body feels better. So it is just a tool to help you raise your vibration or to have more energy, which is really what you want in the grand scheme of it all, because the higher the energy that you have, the closer that you are to source, or the more that you are going to come back to your authentic self, and the less you feel like you're actually going to have to do. The higher energy that you have, yes, you can do more because you need energy to do more things in the physical world, to think and stuff like that. The more you feel good, the happier that you are, the more in flow that you will be in life, and start to realize what life truly is about. And that's all I can really say. That's the best way that I can describe it, is when you release the attachments and you raise your vibration and you expand your consciousness. And you can do this, like I said, through breath work, through meditation. Energy work is a great way to raising your vibration. Letting go of attachments, letting go of that storyline. All of these things are going to raise your energy up to help you understand that you're already connected to source. You're already this thing. You're already where you're supposed to be, right? That is the best way that I can describe it. The lower level vibrations are just part of the human experience, and wish to take the journey to experience. I hope that made sense. So the last thing that I want to touch on before closing out this video is, if you're wanting to take a spiritual journey, you 100% have to make sure that your needs are met, meeting your survival needs. If your root chakra, which is your foundation, and this is why it's chakra number 1, you cannot build upon a faulty foundation. So if your foundation isn't in alignment, supporting you in the way that it needs to, you are going to be called to fix that before you can vibe high. We'll say that. Anything in your foundation, if your job is stressing you out, if you don't have a good place to live, if money is tight, if your survival is threatened in some form or fashion, if you don't feel safe in your body, you don't feel safe in your environment, around the people, if you feel like people are controlling you, or you're trying to control everything, basically fear-based. Anything fear-based is going to bring you down to the lower level frequencies. It's going to bring you straight back, identifying heavily with the human experience, because survival is threatened in some form or fashion. And that is just the nature of evolution, we'll call it that. Survival. It is the body. It's identifying with the body, because the body's job is to keep you alive, right? So the body and the mind and the spirit are connected. So you have to get them all in alignment to remember your truth, to ascend, to take that spiritual journey back to source, to move through this material world, right? So you have to take care of your survival needs first. Okay? Don't let that make you feel bad, because at some point or another, all of our needs will be threatened at some point. You know what I mean? Like I said, the journey will look like this, guys, but the end destination will always be the same. You'll always end up back to source. Whether it be, I want to say, like in this human form of being attached to this body and this story that you're telling yourself right now, or whether you leave this realm of reality and venture back to the spiritual astral planes of the different dimensions, right? There are different dimensions in which we'll say spirits, spirit guides, angels, your ancestors, whatever you want to call it, they do exist on some form of a dimension before going all the way back up to source. But ultimately, we exist in all the planes, guys. It's just where the conscious awareness that we'll call your life is focused in on this one single experience, because the human body is keeping it here. The human body is designed to channel that energy here, right? That's basically what all the material world is. It's some form or fashion of energy being channeled here and manifested in physical form and having an experience as whatever that vessel is designed to have the experience for. You can think of that like your cat or your dog. You know, you have genes, right? You have a biological makeup, and dependent upon the energy that gets streamed into that biological makeup through the chakras will be the experience that the energy has, right? Anyway, I've spoken too much. I'm probably all over the map. I hope this video made sense, because a spiritual journey is neither right nor wrong. It's very difficult to lay out a map to say, this is what your journey should look like. This is what all journeys should look like. But essentially, I've given you ways to relate in your journey. I've given you ways to experience, I guess you could say. And you can either identify with it, choose to take these avenues, or create your own. It's neither right nor wrong. It's just what you want your journey to look like. But anyway, I'm sending you all of my lights and all of my love. Sat Nam.